Chad Curley who can nose manual around the block, where a 30-foot long nose manual 10 years ago would have been a banger video part clip. It's just gotten so technical and hard that in order to reach those levels, you basically have to choose where to put your time and energy. Now, I definitely agree with this, and if your goals are to be the next crazy street rider or next crazy park rider doing all the never before been done tricks, like that's definitely the route you want to take. Now, there's definitely nothing wrong with riding one thing and one thing only. As long as you're riding BMX, just ride it however you want to. There's no right or wrong way to do it. I just want to present why I think riding everything is a great idea and why riders, especially guys who are just starting out, why it's important for them to do so. Basically, if you grow up riding a variety of things, you're going to develop a nice, well-rounded skill set. Whereas if you only ride one or two things, you're only going to develop a skill set for those one or two things. With riding a variety of terrains and a variety of obstacles, you're going to learn how to adapt to whatever's put in front of you. If you only ride ledges, and then let's say you go on a trip with your friends and you end up in a ditch or you find like a street tranny or something like that, like you're not really going to have any idea how to ride it because you only have that background riding ledges. However, if you spent some of that time in the skate park and learned how to hit like a big wedge or a big quarter pipe or a tight quarter pipe, you're going to have that skill set to be able to adapt to whatever spot you go to. You're also going to have more bike control overall. And with more bike control comes more style. So if you're riding everything and you learn how your bike moves and how it works, regardless of what it's riding on, you're going to learn exactly how to handle it and you're going to be able to make your tricks look and feel exactly the way you want. Riding everything helps ensure that you become a good bike rider instead of just a good trick doer or a good ledge rider or a good box jump rider. Like you're going to be a good bike rider. You're going to be able to ride everything and not be limited because something's weird or something's different. There's certain things you can take away from each discipline of riding that can be applied to other disciplines. So let's say you ride trails and you have a good sense of speed and landing smooth and being fluent. You can take those aspects of riding trails and translate it to riding street. Personally, when I try to film a street line, I try to find something I can do fast, something that's going to feel good, something where I can hold my speed throughout the whole thing and make it look fluent. I feel like that comes from me riding trails and me having raced in the past. And I could take that and put it into my street riding. Same goes for if you're a street rider and you go to a skate park. The way you look at street spots and the way you see things that aren't meant to be ridden and how you can ride them, you can take that and take it to a stock skate park where there's not that many lines and you can find a new unique line because you have that street point of view. This is going to give you an edge over guys who are at the skate park every day and they don't have that perspective on how to look at things. There's also feelings that you only get through riding certain things. For example, the sense of going out street riding and finding a brand new spot that you've never seen before. That's a feeling that you can't really find anywhere else. To find something so unique and something that's not meant to be ridden, but at the same time perfect to be ridden, like that's something you don't really get going to a skate park or going to the trails. But then you look at park riding and the ability to have all these ramps and figure out your own way to link them up. That's something that's unique for skate park riding. And then trail riding, just the feeling of ripping through the woods, going through berms, doing trains with your friends. Like there's all these different aspects. And if you're limiting yourself, you're going to miss out on all these other things that are out there for you to do on your BMX bike. The same goes for life experiences. I've made memories and have met people through riding certain things that I would have missed out on had I just spent all my time in the skate park or all my time riding street. It really helps open your mind and helps you meet new people, see new places that you otherwise would never see. It kills me to see kids going to the same skate park every single day when there's a whole world out there for them to ride their bikes on. Like, you're missing out on so much if you just go to one spot over and over again and only ride that one thing. Doing that is also a good way to get burnt out. If you're constantly riding one thing over and over again, you're going to get tired of it. It's going to start feeling like a chore. No matter how focused you are and how motivated you are to get good at it, if you're just doing that same thing every day or working on the same like bar spin tail whip type tricks or the same flat ledge manual combos over and over again, there's going to be days where you're just over it and you don't want to do that anymore. And to me, it's scary watching kids focus so hard on one thing when they're so young, because I could see them easily getting burnt out by the time they're like 18, 20 years old, you know, and then they're overriding BMX because in their mind, BMX riding is only doing that one thing. Whereas if you ride everything, you're going to constantly be mixing it up, constantly be keeping things fresh. If you're tired of going to the skate park, go ride street, and then street's going to be like this whole new fresh experience, and then you do that for a little bit, and then you go back to riding the skate park, and then once again the skate park's fun because you haven't been in a minute. I think if people are constantly doing this and constantly keeping things fresh for themselves, it's going to help BMX as a whole move forward, as in there's going to be more people sticking with it longer. They're not going to be getting as burnt out riding one thing, and the likelihood of someone quitting because of that will be lower. Now, the era that I